Improving interpersonal communication skills. Hi, and welcome to this video. In this video, I want to talk about interpersonal communication skills. Communication becomes effective when each of us takes control of our conversations. Therefore, to have effective conversations means to be effective at communication. This is what I do with my coaching clients. I work with my coaching clients to create effective conversations through an ontological coaching approach. Communication has a nonverbal as well as a verbal component. The verbal skills include the speech acts and knowing which of the 6 speech acts are used in conversations. Additionally, the nonverbal communication skills include the body dispositions as well as the emotions. When these two components are understood and practiced, communication and conversations become more effective. According to Wikipedia, interpersonal communication happens when there are 2 or more people in the conversation. That's obvious, isn't it? Another component of interpersonal communication is that a message is successfully transmitted from somebody who speaks to somebody who listens. It could be a boss talking to their employees, or it could be a parent talking to their children, or it could be friends on a football team talking to each other and getting things done. Successful interpersonal communication requires somebody to speak, and it requires 1 or more people to actually listen to what is spoken and act upon that. What I've just described are 3 of the speech acts: requests, offers, and promises. This takes care of the bulk of our everyday conversations where we ask for help or we offer help to other people. And these requests and offers are acted on through promises or commitments to take action. This part is easy because a lot of us understand the verbal part of communication skills. The nonverbal part of communication skills have to do with the body, which corresponds to body language and our physiological dispositions, which are essentially the shape of our bodies. An additional component to nonverbal communication skills are the emotions. The claim is that we, as human beings, are in 1 or more emotions at any given moment of our day. However, we may not be aware what emotion we are in. The emotion of happiness will create a range of physiological responses than the emotion of anger or fear or excitement. Depending on the emotion you bring to your conversations, you will have different results when you speak to your boss, your family, your friends, or even other members within your community. The emotion of anger in your communication has a range of possibilities of action and responses to a particular request or offer. In a similar way, the emotion of excitement in your communication will have other possibilities. Learning to improve your interpersonal communication skills requires that you understand both the verbal components of communication as well as the non-verbal components of communication. Since a lot of us do many things intellectually, the best approach I've found is to focus on things in an intellectual way. I invite my coaching clients to use their skills, experience, and knowledge of learning to understand what exactly is spoken. And that means focusing in on the speech acts and understanding what verbal communication is about. If we cannot actually articulate very clearly what it is that we want or how it is that we will be satisfied, conversations and communication become ineffective. The speech acts are requests, offers, promises, assertions, assessments, declarations. I explain each of these speech acts briefly in 2 videos, Communication Skills Part 1 and Communication Skills Part 2. I invite you to consider that the key to improving your interpersonal communication skills is to continue to practice and make distinctions about which speech acts you use when you are in conversations. Inviting somebody for dinner is a request. Congratulating somebody by taking them out to dinner involves 2 speech acts. The speech act of declaration is giving congratulations, and taking them out to dinner is the offer. In either of these 2 cases, the recipient will promise or make a commitment to either accept or reject the offer and request. And these, according to Wikipedia, constitutes a successful communication when the message is sent and the message is received. The key is to know which of the speech acts you activate in your conversations and whether or not they serve your goals. I want to take a few moments to ask you to notice recent conversations you had. It is probably easier if the memory is within the last 24 hours or so. What speech acts do you believe were present? What was the emotion you were in? What was the emotion of the listeners? How would you describe the shape of your body? How would you describe the shape of the listeners? In your assessment, how effective was that conversation? Were you satisfied with the outcome? How would you improve future interactions? I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments about improving interpersonal communication skills, please share them below. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and see you soon.